video number 2. For this video, I really want to just let the brakes off. I really want to hit the gas. I want to put me to the gas, and my energy and my conviction and my potency and my power. I really want to just hit the gas, and I want to let completely off the brakes, and I want to just go crazy. I want a full range of my personality. I want to be able to just explode on the scene and say whatever I want to say whatever arises. Like RSD Julien says, just allow whatever to arise. Allow whatever arises, allow it to arise, and say it and do it and be it and be free. Be free. Go free. Go crazy. Go nuts. So this is video 2, and we want to be engaging. I want to engage you, and I'm not gonna edit this. So this needs to be engaging from beginning to end. So last video we talked about riding my motorcycle, and all the fun and all the crazy stuff that goes along with that, and just being new to riding and all that. I tell you what, riding on the interstate, or when you're going real fast on like a back road or like a slower road, and and the light turns red and you're hauling ass and you gotta brake, you gotta hit the front brake and the back brake. It's pretty intense. My adrenaline is crazy. Like when I'm hitting about 70, 80, my adrenaline is through the roof. My heart is pumping. I'm feeling it. You know, when you release adrenaline, it kind of feels like stress, like you're oozing stress because cortisol, and I feel that I'm trying to get more acclimated, more comfortable with it. That way, well, like anything, try to get comfortable and try to get used to it, and try to get more confident at it, and build a habit, build a practice and a habit. And then I actually did a paper at UT, and it was about neuroplasticity. And so what you do over and over again, it's almost like a river in your mind. Like at first, it's like like a tiny stream, like a mini stream, and then the water continues to go down that. At first it's kind of hard to it's not going down the stream as fast, because it's just like maybe a little rut in the earth, a little rut in the grass, in the dirt, in the woods, wherever, right? In the wild. And then the water kind of goes down it, but not real fast, kind of slow. and then as it goes down it more and more, it starts to create like a deeper rut, and more water travels down this rut, and more water, and a little bit faster, and then it starts to create it faster, starts to get deeper, faster, and then before you know it, you have a rushing river, and before you know it, you have things that need dams to control the rushing water, and before you know it, those dams are used to transfer or translate energy, translate the water, the power of the water to energy, to usable energy, and that's pretty cool. But that happens in the brain. Neuroplasticity is kind of like, or it's exactly like that. So you have different pathways in your brain, and the more you do something, the faster you get at it. It becomes like a habit, and becomes second nature, and it becomes like instinctual, and you like do it automatically. Like you're like in karate or martial arts, what do they say? They say like your motor reflexes. Oh, excuse me, we just had free pizza where I live. The perks of living at blank blank. I'm not gonna tell you where I live. Come on. But anyways, so yeah, getting a lot better, getting a lot faster on the bike. Told somebody homie was interested today. We were just talking, whatever. He's the maintenance guy here where I stay, and he was asking me about my bike, and I told him how comfortable I was getting, and he's like, just whatever you do, don't get too comfortable. And so, right, like that's like a kind of like a paradox, right? Because you want to get so comfortable that you're super competent and super confident in the thing that you're doing, whatever it is, whether it be real estate, which I just got into real estate. I don't remember if I mentioned that on the last video, but here it is again. If I didn't, here it is for the first time. I was gonna say you're welcome, but I'm just used to saying you're welcome for things because I bring so much value. I add so much value. I bring so much to the table. But anyways, I got into real estate, and so I'm trying to make that like really like a habit, like a hardcore practice habit. You know, get that neuroplasticity for the real estate. Make a whole network in my brain. Make a whole network from the neuroplasticity aspect and for regarding motorcycles, regarding being cool. Oh wait. I already have that. And oh yeah, so the paradox, right? There's a paradox there because you want to get so comfortable where it's like second nature, and where you're just very competent and you're very look at my hair, bro. You're very competent and you're very like you're good, you're comfortable on the road, and you're you know what you're doing. You're at ease. You're confident. You're assured. You're self-assured. You're aware of your surroundings. You have a heightened focus and a heightened attention. Maybe a heightened attention span. Like you're staying focused. But there's that paradox where you also don't want to get too complacent and too comfortable to where it's just like. You're not not necessarily not afraid. You don't want to have fear, but you want to have a healthy fear. You want to have a healthy respect and reverence for the people on the road and the power of the vehicles, because you're not going to win. There's no battle you're going to win on the road unless it's with another motorcycle that may be smaller. You're not going to win, or a bike, a scooter, a bike. Earlier I was riding my bike and this girl, she was walking. And I kind of just, scooted by her, and it was like in a small, an entryway. And I was like, in my head, I was like, it's all right. It's just a bike. And then I was thinking, a really heavy bike. I just made myself laugh. I just started laughing. It was funny. It's just a bike. It's a really heavy bike. But you're not going to win that battle. You're not going to win. if there's a car and he's about to take that lane, he's about to take the position, the spot, the place, the space. He's about to take up the space that you're trying to take up. He's going to win it. If it's a Mini Cooper, if it's a little Bug, that thing is going to win. If the little cube car, the little ugly little cars that look like they belong in Sesame Street or something, that car will still win. So you gotta have that. You gotta maintain that sort of confident, comfortable, but reverent respect, awareness, balance. And I'm sitting here saying it, and I haven't even been riding that long, but I'm aware, and I'm gonna try to put that into practice. But it was cool that he heard that, or that he said that to me. So far we've been pretty engaging. I think it's been pretty engaging. How about you? Let me know in the comments. I have not stopped. Hopefully we can just continue to keep going. All gas, no brakes. Speaking of neuroplasticity and habits and getting things to become second nature and making it your practice and your habit and making it instinctual. Sometimes that's a really, really hard thing to do, to start out. When you start out, I should say it's always hard. When you start something new, it's always hard. It's always hard at first, but then once you put it into practice, once you keep doing it, it gets easier and easier. Why does it get easier and easier? And why is it so hard in the beginning? It's so hard in the beginning because it's just like the water on the earth, the water in the wild, the water on the grass, right? That little stream, there's nothing there, right? There's no divot in the earth yet. There's no rut. There's no valley. Is that the right word? Yeah, there's like no little, you know what I'm saying? There's no valley. So it's just kind of like flat, and maybe it's not perfectly flat because it's the earth. It's like maybe lumpy, and so the water gets in there, and that's like your brain. And so it takes effort. It takes effort, energy. You have to input. It's the input that you put in. It's the output coming out from your being, from who you are, from what you're trying to do, what you're trying to accomplish, the work that you're putting in. It takes work, right? And as a society, as a people, we are pretty lazy, or we are pretty, like, we like to relax, we like to chill, we like to put in as little energy as possible to get something done. Now, I don't know that seems like most people, but I'm pretty lazy. I'm a pretty lazy dude. I'm not gonna sugarcoat it and make me sound like I'm some super crazy productive dude, and I do all this, and I have fun, I go out, I do my thing, but I'm pretty lazy at the same time. And I'm trying to increase my productivity and my activity and reduce my laziness, because it's not good. But anyway, so at the back to neuroplasticity and ruts and effort. It takes effort to start something new. It takes effort. There's no rut there. But when you start to do it, you start to create a little bit of a rut, and it's still hard because you're putting in effort. It's almost like you're fighting against a wall. You're like trying to walk through a wall. You're trying to get through it, and it's just so hard. But then the wall starts to get softer, and the wall starts to get softer until it's like jelly, and then you can like walk through it. Like in the Matrix, how the mirror was like liquid, and he just put his finger right through it. It starts to become easier and easier. And so I guess some encouragement for you when you feel like you can't do that thing, when you feel like that thing is too hard, like this is just too hard. I'm not getting anywhere. It's like you're pulling that mower, the start, the string on the mower, and it's just not going. But you're getting it warmed up. You're getting your arm warmed up so you can give it a stronger pull that will start it. It's kind of like that. Remember that at first, it's gonna be difficult. At first, it's gonna be hard. Not just because it's like a hard thing to do, or it's like a super difficult task to accomplish, but because the brain doesn't have the pathway of performance yet, of exercising that thing yet. It doesn't have that pathway. So your mind and your being are working against your own self. You got to get out of your own way. So you got to put in the right amount of effort, work, energy. It takes energy and discipline to keep going, to maintain, right? But it's not just because that thing is so hard. It's just because it's hard to start something that you haven't started, that you've never done. You haven't made it a habit yet. When you were a baby, you didn't even crawl. You just laid. And then you began to like move your leg a little bit. You began to twitch your eye a little bit. Now, you probably did that right away. But you began to, and then you begin to crawl a little bit. Not much, just a touch, just a little bit. And then that, like a slow, plodding process. So just remember that when you want to start losing weight, when you want to talk to that beautiful female and you have no context for it, no idea how to talk to that beautiful female, just go up and start talking. And then you will create context in your own mind and reference experiences, new places in your mind that you can draw from to say, oh, that was cool. Oh, wait, that wasn't cool to say. Oh, that was weird to do. Oh, that was awkward to do. That was actually really cool. And and then you start to build a network that you have your own internal network of data and information. You have your own database of what to do and what not to do. That's better than looking at any other database. One guy said, failure University is the best school. Failure University. There's no better school than Failure University. You know that your energy was low, so you gotta increase your energy. You know that your engagement was low, so you gotta increase your engagement. You know your eye contact wasn't that good, so you have to increase your eye contact. Not in a weird way, but increase it. Hold the eye contact. Hold and keep the tension. Can you do it? Can you do it? Can you maintain eye contact with me right now? I'm wondering. I'm hoping. I'm encouraging. I'm edifying. I'm lifting you up. I'm telling you what to do. Here it is. It's coming. You're welcome. You build that framework, you build that network, and you become a new person. Think about it. You're literally new. What you are right now is a set of networks and experiences and different pathways and neuroplasticity. I'm having epiphany after epiphany. And so when you create those new pathways and you have those new experiences, you are actually literally not just a new person because of, well, you're a new person because of the experiences, the new knowledge, but then your makeup is actually new as well. Your material is new. Your physical matter is new. There's new pathways. There's new pathways in your brain. So your being is actually new. You're a new being and you're a new person. And the more that you do it, the more new you become. Everybody always says become the best version of you. So become the best version of yourself. Be you, like everybody says. I'm going to call back to RSD Julien because I love RSD Julien. He said, I love this, man. He said, it's not fake it till you make it. It's act real until you remember. Until you remember. That has happened to me through traumas and childhood traumas and trying to avoid confrontations and different things that happened in my life growing up. And when I tried to avoid confrontation, I shut down. Even though I knew I was right in that instance, in that argument, in that disagreement or that debate. I knew I was right, but I shut myself down and closed off because I was afraid that I would hurt that person's ego and they would get mad and maybe want to fight me or something. Like I was a little bitch when I was younger. And or I was cowardly or whatever you want to say, but I was afraid as a kid. I was afraid. I wasn't one of the ones that just wasn't afraid. I was afraid as a kid. And so I would shut myself down and lower myself down and stop arguing and then they would give their argument as if they were so right, as if they were so right in what they were saying, and they believed it, even though in my mind I knew objectively that it was wrong, not just like bias or subjective because of certain things that happened. I knew I was right in that moment, but I shut myself down and stopped and let them sort of like win, so to speak. But it's where you don't stand up for yourself and stand up for the rightness or the appropriateness in the circumstance, in the situation. So with that, the more you do that, the more you stop yourself and reject your own argument, your own belief, and you know you're right, then you become less confident in you and your own beliefs, because you're shutting your own beliefs down. You're allowing that to happen. You're allowing your own beliefs to be shut down by yourself. Yes, the other person contributed, but it was your response. It was your action or lack of action that you took or didn't take that caused you to shut your own mind down and to shut your own belief down. And you do that over and over and over. You become a robot that just is like a yes man, just agrees with everybody and just tries to accommodate everybody else, and it's like automatic, it's autopilot, and you become so accommodating and so afraid to offend. And that's what it was. I was afraid to offend. I was like, oh man, I know I'm right now. In my mind, I want to say this, but he might get mad because his own ego, he's gonna hear it come out of my mouth, and he's gonna know I'm right. He's gonna hear the truth is gonna resonate. The truth has a present sort of like sound to it, right? You hear the truth and you know that is true. It's almost inescapable. The truth is like inescapable in a sense. And when if they were to hear it come out of my mouth, it would hit their ego. And then if they couldn't take an ego hit, they'd get mad at me. And then I didn't see. Here's the thing: we're our own worst enemy. What's that saying? There's nothing to fear but fear itself. So I feared what they would have done if I challenged their ego, if I challenged what they were saying. But I never allowed it to happen, right? I never allowed it to actually come to fruition, to take place. So it was just the fear that shut me down. It wasn't actually them retaliating because I affected their ego. Now, there were certain instances where I was in fights or whatever, but most of the time, it was me shutting myself down in fear of how they would respond because I hit their ego. You don't know if they're going to hit you, they're going to fight you, they're going to attack you, they're going to call their boys, they're going to whatever. And so, yeah, so that was it. So I had to overcome a lot of these things. But the thing is, I'm so much better for it. I'm so much better off because I learned. I went through the darkness. I went through the battles and the struggles and overcame and approached that beautiful woman and approached that beautiful woman and that one 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 and so many, and had so many great experiences with different females because I overcame, because I attacked that shit head on. I jumped right into the bar, right into the club, jumped right into a group of 5 beautiful women or whatever, started talking and was completely scared, and then scared shitless, right? And because you do it over and over and over, here comes that neuroplasticity, and you're more comfortable, you're more at ease. And a man that approaches his fears, right? Life is on the other side of fear. All the things you want. It's like this song by Boris Brejcha. It's like a house or deep house or some like techno, something like that, electronic music, EDM music. And he's like, everything you want is on the other side of fear. So true. It's so true. Like, everything you want is on the other side of fear. And when you start to approach those things and you start to overcome those things, you start to say no to those things. Instead of saying no to yourself, you start to say no to those things and yes to yourself. You build more self-belief, more self-confidence. You believe in yourself more. You believe in what you can do because you have just overcome so many fears. Now I'm riding a motorcycle. That shit was so scary. I'm so much more comfortable on it. Not complacent, comfortable. And that shit was scary. I remember I cried one time, not like wailing and bawling, but I cried just a little bit. I was like, this is scary. I bought the bike and it was done and over with. I bought it. I was like, this shit is scary. And I wasn't even on the bike. I was in the car and I rode it just a little bit, like I was saying, practicing a little bit. And that shit was scary. Not even going like 30, 40 miles an hour. My adrenaline, my fear level, thinking about if I fall off and roll off the bike. Damn, there's no cage. There's nothing to protect me. Oh, snap. Oh, like I could be hurt really bad. You start thinking it, and it's like it's like visualization. You visualize something and then you go do it, you're going to be able to do it. It's almost like creating a phantom pathway in a sense, but really you created a pathway in your brain. Having epiphanies right now. You created a neuroplastic pathway in your brain because you visualized it. So then when you travel down that pathway again, in reality, your mind imagined it. So there's a little bit of a pathway there. So it's going to be easier to do. That's why I'm having epiphanies. That's why visualization is a thing. That's why visualization works. But so I was visualizing, which I shouldn't have been, but I was afraid on the bike, visualizing me falling off, rolling off, crashing, boom, flying off the bike. Because that's it. Once you hit, you're not protected. You're flying out. You don't got a seatbelt. You don't got airbags. So I'm visualizing that, thinking that, and then I start to feel the stress oozing out of my heart, like oozing in my chest. I'm like, oh shit. Like I start feeling, I'm like, okay, I blank my mind. I have a sound mind. So, and from all this practice, from all these things, approaching fears, I have a new grounded power and grounding and centeredness. So I'm able to actually shut it right off. And the stress stopped oozing. I could feel the cortisol stop. And I was okay. I have control of this. I was okay. Easy on the bike. Easy in your mind while you're on the bike. But anyways, there's a road. It's really dangerous. And you kind of got to take this road unless you take the long way home back to my house from the dealership. And I was in my car because I left the bike. I was like, I'm going to come back and get this. I left the bike. The next day, I had my buddy come with me to get the bike to follow me. So, but that day, leaving the bike, went back in my car, went back on that scary, on that dangerous road. And I was sitting there, I was crying just a little bit because I'm like, whoa, this is dangerous. How am I ever going to get this good? How am I ever going to get to the point where, like I was telling you before, if you're stopped and people are going left and right really fast, by the way, and there's no light, they don't ever have to stop. So you have to pick the right time to cut across an intersection where they're going really fast. I started crying just a little bit. I was like, damn, I did this. I bought this. I'm going to have to overcome. I bought this. I'm going to have to overcome. I have to do this. It was scary. It was a little scary. But like I was saying, you overcome. You approach your fears and you overcome. And so I've approached so many fears and I've overcome it. Now I'm comfortable. Now I'm excited. I get up ready to ride. I get up excited to ride. I get up like, man, where am I going to drive today on this motorcycle? The gas is crazy, like not too crazy expensive. I get premium 93 gas. That's what I was instructed to do. It seems right. I'd rather not spend that much, but honestly, it's not that much, so it's not that big of a deal. And so I'm excited to ride. I've overcome that fear, overcome the thing that I cried about when I first got it. Oh shit, I spent all this money. I'm gonna have to ride. I'm gonna have to get good. I'm gonna have to really show something for myself. I gotta be able to ride. I gotta be able to pull out an intersection. I gotta be able to cross an intersection comfortably, because when you release that clutch, you can stall out. So you gotta release it gently. You gotta hit the friction zone. You gotta give it. You gotta rev match just a little bit so you can, get going, be safe. Anyways, overcoming fears. You become more confident in you more. You believe in yourself more. You love yourself more. Your worth, your self-esteem increases. Your belief in your self-worth increases, and everything you want is on the other side of fear. So we've hit 30 minutes. So I guess we're gonna call it on this one. Until next time. I think this was pretty engaging. There was like one spot in there, right, I think in the middle, where it kind of slowed down, but then I picked it back up and everything looks good. Everything looks smooth and engaging. This is not edited. There's no edits here. So you're getting this raw and unedited and just unfiltered, and it's just me, and I'm trying to release. I'm trying to, just like my motorcycle, like go and no break. All right, I love y'all. Until next time.